Is this the end of a bond that once seemed unbreakable? In an unexpected and unforgettable moment in BTS's historic journey, Jungkook, the group's main vocalist and a central figure in the legendary South Korean band, expressed deep regret that shocked the world. This confession did not merely shake loyal fans, ARMY, but also exposed wounds long hidden beneath the glitz of the stage and the glare of the cameras. What exactly happened between Jungkook and Park Jimin that caused such an emotional explosion now under intense global scrutiny? This incident is not just another ordinary report in the dynamics of South Korea's entertainment industry. It is a rare admission from one of the biggest idols of this generation, delivered openly with a heavy, remorseful tone. In a profound interview released by one of Korea's major media outlets last week, Jungkook was seen struggling to hold back tears as he said, "I'm not sure I can forgive myself, not after what happened with Jimin." That sentence not only shocked the interviewers but also hit the entire ARMY community around the world like a storm. The biggest question now is, what did Jungkook do to Jimin that resulted in such immense regret? Is it related to a past we all assumed was so harmonious? Or is there underlying tension long kept hidden to protect the group's image? Several Korean entertainment industry analysts noted that internal group tensions are not unheard of, but such public admissions are extremely rare. Until now, the relationship between Jungkook and Jimin was known to be exceptionally close, often cited by fans as a true symbol of friendship. They have shared hundreds of intimate moments across programs, concerts, and live broadcasts. Yet, it is precisely this closeness that makes Jungkook's confession feel like a betrayal that shattered trust. Clues began to surface, starting with the lack of public interactions between Jungkook and Jimin since early this year. Observant fans started to question why the two no longer appear together in live broadcasts as usual, and why their social media posts no longer featured mutual comments. Some ARMY even pointed out a noticeable emotional distance in their last interaction seen in a documentary released before each member began their military service. In addition, an internal source who requested anonymity revealed a significant behind-the-scenes incident before Jimin's military enlistment. The source mentioned a major disagreement between Jungkook and Jimin regarding decisions the group needed to make after completing their military service. Jungkook insisted on doing something that would shock the public, while Jimin felt that step could endanger the group's reputation, the source said. Could this be related to Jungkook's solo project, or another undisclosed decision? What's intriguing is that in his statement, Jungkook did not clearly specify what mistake he made. However, the emotional tone in his voice and his facial expression implied a deep wound and undeniable sadness. "I lost the trust of someone I respect the most," he said quietly. This statement only further fueled speculation that their personal relationship has deteriorated far more than expected. Adding to the situation, a recent report by an investigative journalist revealed that Jimin had been quietly treated at a military health facility in the middle of last month. Although the agency has not given an official statement regarding the medical reason, the report further strengthened assumptions that Jimin is under severe emotional pressure. In such a state, the biggest question now is, did Jungkook's actions contribute to this condition? Various psychologists approached by both local and international media stated that Jungkook's confession could be a form of emotional catharsis from internal pressure. When someone harbors guilt for too long, it often takes a public moment to release that burden, even if it risks their reputation, explained Professor Han Ji-won, a clinical psychologist from Yonsei University. She added that such admissions could also signal a psychological crisis, especially if the individual feels they have lost someone deeply important in their life. On the other hand, K-pop culture observers noted that this moment marks a new shift in how Korean idols express vulnerability. In the past, celebrities were expected to maintain a flawless image, but now there is a trend toward openness that shows their human side. Still, such transparency comes with great risk, for both individuals and the group as a whole. However, in the midst of the spotlight and widespread commotion, one fundamental question arises and must be deeply contemplated together. Are we truly witnessing the actual truth, or are we merely trapped in a wave of unverified information? The news about Jungkook allegedly being unable to forgive himself for something he did to Jimin something that reportedly made ARMY cry, has indeed stirred many emotions. But have we been critical enough in assessing what really happened? Or have we become part of the information consumers who are easily swayed by dramatic headlines and emotional narratives? In today's digital era, where information spreads rapidly and extensively through platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter, the line between fact and speculation becomes increasingly blurred. The emergence of narratives about a complicated emotional bond between Jungkook and Jimin might contain certain truths, but there is also a strong possibility that these narratives have been fabricated, exaggerated, or even twisted merely to chase clicks, views, and virality. So, have we as readers and fans been sufficiently cautious against the possibility of emotional manipulation cleverly packaged in news like this? It must be emphasized that most of the information we presented is sourced from social media content and public interpretations of the expressions and actions of BTS members. These sources may indicate that something unusual is occurring in their interactions. However, must every expression always be interpreted as evidence of internal conflict, major mistakes, or backstage drama? Are celebrities not humans too, capable of looking tired, silent, or emotional without always being linked to a significant hidden event? Now is the time for us to invite you to think more deeply. Are we becoming victims of sensationalism so artfully crafted and emotionally stirring? Does the story of Jungkook's guilt toward Jimin truly reflect what happens behind the scenes? Or is it merely a collective imagination formed from video snippets, netizen speculation, and social media algorithms pushing the most emotional content to the forefront? A reflective and skeptical attitude becomes extremely important in situations like this. We need to ask, who really benefits from such news? Is ARMY as a fan community being targeted for emotional manipulation? Are we too easily swept up in the moment, without realizing that what we're consuming might be a story that remains unverified, or perhaps not true at all? Furthermore, how should we respond to news that originates from platforms not primarily designed to deliver objective and verified journalistic reports? Aren't TikTok and YouTube, despite their educational potential, still fundamentally entertainment media that don't always uphold rigorous journalistic principles? We are not asking you to reject all circulating information, but we are inviting you to start developing a habit of critical thinking, gathering information from various perspectives, and questioning narratives that seem too dramatic to be real. A good news story should not only stir emotions, but also drive deep understanding and responsible collective awareness. In closing, we would like to ask you to answer these questions yourselves. Are you convinced that Jungkook truly bears deep guilt toward Jimin? Do ARMY's tears reflect empathy for a real situation? Or are they a reaction to a narrative crafted by the media? Can we still distinguish between reality and manipulated information? With so much news continuously unfolding, only one thing is certain. The real truth requires time, verification, and a healthy dose of skepticism. So keep thinking critically, don't let emotions override logic, and be a smart reader in the face of the flood of information that flows daily. Are you ready to look deeper and challenge a narrative that may not be entirely true? How will you determine what's real and what's merely a digital illusion? Let's reflect together.